If I'm fixing it, I'm filming it. Well, hello everyone. On today's project, we've got a few things to do to my new to me lawnmower. Right now it has a side discharge. I want to remove that and put a mulch kit on it. I want to put a inductive hour meter on it, and then also a easier to change oil. I'm going to put on a oil drain hose kit, and I got everything off of Amazon, so quite handy. That's one nice thing about having an up-to-date lawnmower or up-to-date anything. Parts are that much more available. Okay, let's show you what I've got here. So it's called a mulch kit for 30-inch, and it's 19A300 OEM, and that will fit this Tory Bilt TB30R. So all it is piece of plastic. So that was $33 off of Amazon Canadian, and like, you know, May 31st. Now we have this hose kit, and all it is basically this will screw into the engine. You take out the existing oil plug, you screw this in, and then when you want to change the oil, you're not going to spill any. You undo the cap here and it'll spill easily into a little container. So I thought that was pretty easy, pretty nice addition. That was also $33 from Amazon. And there is the part number, and it's Briggs & Stratton, but and then last but not least is our hour meter. Inductive hour meter, more specifically. So basically you just wrap this existing wire around the spark plug wire a few times, hook it up into your hour meter, and then you know, okay, well, it's 25 hours, time to change the oil. That's one thing, these small engines, you're just guessing how long to replace the oil. And if you use it a lot, this is very handy to have. If you don't, well, you need to change your oil once a year. Okay, so first things first, let's get this mulch kit on, and yeah, let's get started. Okay, well, this is a pretty easy upgrade. We got two knobs to remove. There you go. I don't know if you notice, here's a switch. Here's a safety switch. So sometimes if your side discharge or even this isn't properly attached or it gets kicked out, this is kind of like a tamper. Your engine will not start. So just a heads up. This is kind of like, as soon as you get off the seat, it'll cut it. Well, that's what the same thing is here, this switch here. So be careful you don't bugger that up. So to get that on, make sure it engages. There we got a little tab here we should move. Make sure it's in there. Make sure that switch is properly positioned so it's engaged. And let's put back our thumb knobs. Okay, there you go. So there'll be no discharge. This will mulch. Now that was an easy upgrade. Okay, onto the oil drain hose. Okay, so what I've done is I kind of tilted my unit on a couple of ramps to get it up nice and high, as you can tell, because I need to get to that right there, and that is your drain plug. So you can kind of see how inconvenient that is when you want to change oil. It's just going to dump everywhere. So hopefully I have it tilted back enough. And looks like that'll just be a 3/8 extension. Yes. Then we can take that off. And hopefully we don't leak too much oil. If we do, it won't be a heck of a lot, just because of the way I've got it tilted. Okay, just a perfect angle. I didn't lose a drop of oil. And it will not, oh yes, it'll fit. There we go, the threads are the same. So let's screw this in. Make sure you don't cross thread it. Turn it on at least a good turn. That way you know it's not cross threaded. Now let's get a wrench on that. That's in a tight area, isn't it? Yeah, I can't turn it here. I got to turn it here. I may have to. Yes, we are going to have to take this shield off just to get to that better. So let's do that. Oh, they got it now. Should pull it straight out. Here. Okay, now we can get to that hose a lot easier. Now we can do a nice tighten up job. Yeah, that's pretty tight there. Okay, let's get this muffler back on. Okay, 13 on my water. Nice. There you go, get the shroud back on. One down here, right over the plug. I don't know what you want, so you get them all on. Okay, tighten that up. There! That's done. And of course, you know, you could just hang it up there a little bit. I'm just going to leave it like that. I'll put a little twist tie on. This is the throttle cable. So I'll just put a little twist tie there so it stays there. Sure, it's not going to do anything bouncing around like that, but okay, well that was a little bit harder than the mulch kit, but nonetheless well worth it. And maybe save the oil drain plug. Next thing we want to do is install our hour meter. So it's called an inductive hour meter, and well, I just would like to know exactly how many hours is on this unit before I have to consider doing an oil change. So they're pretty easy to install. Where I'm going to install is maybe right here underneath the seat where it's protected in case it rains or anything like that. Shouldn't get hot here. So that's a good spot. I can go through this hole and onto my spark plug. So first things first, let's remove this shield. And I think it's 10 millimeter. Okay, so there's two bolts underneath here to remove. 10 millimeter. This should just lift up, and there we go. So what comes in a kit? Looks like the hour meter itself, a couple of screws, and then the wire. We're not going to use the screws. I don't want to drill in here. I'm going to get some good two-sided tape. Yeah, that's where I'm going to put it. So covered, out of the way, not close to the beer holder. I should say the beverage holder. I do not condone drinking and lawn mowing. Let's go get that two-sided tape, and that's where we're going to put it there. Okay, so we are supposed to take this wire, and there's a little slot here, so we're supposed to be able to push it all the way in. Okay. So we got that cable pushed all the way down in that slot. This is where I'm going to stick. I'm going to go through here. I know this wire wants to get started, so we'll hold that. Okay, there. So we're holding the wire. That way we can now wrap it. There I be, okay. So the best way I found was wrapping it up top, zip tying it, and then wrap it, and then wrap the last little bit again, and then putting a zip tie. Then I'm just going to try to wrap it all with another zip tie. There you go. So now we can get this going up. I'm going to get some loom here. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up this excess and put it in some wire loom. That way it'll look a lot nicer. Maybe I can tie it to this stud here. So I'm going to take my chances and think, oh yeah, this is going to work. I'm going to get some two-sided tape on this thing right now. There. Totally out of the way, out of the rain even. Now let's get this wire loomed here. How much wire loom am I going to need? Let's say to about right there. 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 There we go, that's all nicely protected. Away from the exhaust. Okay, let's trim all these zip ties off. There. Nice neat install. Let's get this cover back on. Okay, so it'll say the icon on the left, the hour meter will start to blink if it's installed properly. So let's get the parking brake on. Park. Get the key in. Give it some gas. Okay, well I ran it for about 6 minutes, and it turned to 0.1. So we know it's working. So there you go, folks. A nice little upgrade to my Tory Bilt. In fact, for any lawnmower engine, small engine, should have an hour meter. Very handy to have. That was 3 easy installs on your Tory Bilt TB30R lawnmower. Good luck with your projects.